Here we are again, and we're talking with, usually Lisa comes on in the fall to talk about the Out of Darkness walk, right? But this time, we're talking about Mental Health Day, which is coming up. And she just mentioned to me that they saw Single Girls Guide.
Yeah, right? We just mentioned to Maggie what a phenomenal show it was.
Okay, good. So you got a little endorsement.
Definitely
Absolutely worth seeing.
Yeah, and you saw it before the preview.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Because they do that. They'll have an audience.
Yeah. It was phenomenal.
Mental Health Day. This is an important, because of funding. We just heard from our the tax people from Wildwood that funding's being cut and everything. Are you seeing some of that yourselves, or?
It is definitely an annual issue because of funding, and that a lot of times mental health gets put kind of on the back burner as maybe other more pressing issues kind of take over, and we want to make sure that our legislators and our community doesn't forget about mental health and how important that is, because it is something that just impacts people's ability to be productive and to have a good life, and affects families and economics. It just has widespread reach. So it really is important for us not to forget about mental health.
And it's important, I think, to keep addressing this. Michelle Hunt, she's speaking to the issue. It's, if it was a kidney disease, there'd be a poster child, and we'd be saying, oh, it's a disease, we need to do something about it. We seem to forget, not me, but or you or I,
yes.
or you, that this is really an illness.
It is.
And it needs to be addressed as an illness.
It is an illness, and it is a public health issue.
Mm-hmm.
Both mental health and, of course, suicide prevention, which is a complication of mental illness. We know that at least 90% of the people who die by suicide have a diagnosable and treatable psychiatric illness at the time of their death. So those two things that we represent, mental health and suicide prevention, really go hand in hand. So it is an illness, and it's a public health imperative that we are addressing this as a community.
Kudos to you always for even just saying that. If this was a kidney issue, or we see all kinds of events going on where there is a poster child, or there is somebody. It's hard to do that with this. There's so much stigma with surrounding the issues of mental illness. I think that an event like this, it really involves a real grassroots effort where we say once a year, everybody who's connected to this issue, please come with us and let's meet with your legislators. Let's make an appointment. Tell them why mental health matters to you. And we have people that come every year who are in the system affected by mental health. They can't work because of their illness. They don't have insurance to pay for medicines for their illness.
That's right.
And that's just a small part of it. I mean, we know people, there's millions of people in this country affected by mental illness who get good treatment, who work, who pay taxes.
And if their medications it works.
Absolutely,
if you're bipolar, you can actually control some of that.
Absolutely, and it is not. It literally should not be a sentence where you will not function in your community. You'll not function as a participant.
You need your family support.
Absolutely.
And because they're the ones that probably recognize it before you do.
Yeah.
I mean, you know there's something wrong, but they see that you're going downhill or something.
Well, that's where the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention plays a role in this. We focus on understanding, researching topics surrounding mental health and suicide. We educate the community, which means we educate parents, grandparents, kids, about mental illness, finding signs in themselves or in a friend. So advocacy is one of those parts of our mission that continues to be a big part of pushing our movement forward.
I know that you brought some materials with you. Let's run through the photos, and because I know we're talking about veterans as well. So let's take a look at these.
Our two main issues that we're going to be addressing this year at Mental Health Matters Day, which is next Wednesday, the 13th, is mental health education. We always have a good representation of high school students that come, so that there are some pictures of some of the high school students, and also here are the Grahams, retired Major General Mark Graham and his lovely wife Carol, who will be speaking that morning about veteran mental health issues.
It's tragic that we send our young people over to fight and are well trained in there, and yet they come back because of the horrors of war or whatever it is, whether it's their injuries or whatever. They come back and we try to support them, and then
I know. What's nice about
your risk of dying by suicide is higher if you're a veteran or in the military.
I believe
so. That is something that we really need to be addressing, especially with the increased number of troops that are being deployed and deployed multiple times overseas. We really owe it to these people who are fighting for our freedom, to be taking care of them when they come home.
Special care. What's nice to involve a family like the Grahams, they lost a son in combat, but they lost a son to suicide. Both military men.
God.
So you know, I've never been involved as a military person. So there's a culture with military people that, for me as a civilian to talk about things that I think are important for them, it's not necessarily so accepted. But when you have a family like the Grahams who stand up and say,
look,
we lost a boy, and to get into that culture of you got to take care of each other. It's no longer be as strong as you can. Look what you did for your country. We want to care for you. And that will be a focus for our mental health day. We're going to be knocking on doors of our legislators and saying this is important to us.
So if people want to get involved, they should give you a call and
Absolutely.
Write a letter, come in, and whatever it takes to kind of raise the awareness of this. And I was just thinking, we talked about the military going out over there and fighting and everything, but sometimes they get through that and they come back and they don't have a job, they don't have, so it's compounds. I mean, there's more than just going off to war and coming home, because during World War II, I don't know that there was a big number of suicides. People, they went to war, they came home, they were accepted, they had their jobs, they were looking for workers. It seemed as though life was a little bit easier. I don't want easier, but there was a pathway.
Seemed to assimilate a little easier than what we're seeing.
And we're seeing it happen, started in Vietnam.
I know.
The rate has increased, even over the past couple of years, of suicide deaths among the military and veterans. So it is something that we really need to get our finger on the pulse of why and what do we need to do in order for that to be reversed. But as far as people becoming involved, I just want to mention that this is a grassroots effort. You do not have to have experience in order to talk to your legislator, to write a letter, because really legislators want to know what is in the minds and the hearts of their constituents.
They count those piles of letters.
You bet.
Sure.
This is for, this is against.
You bet. Yeah.
So get your letters out.
So telling your own story and educating yourself about the issues, anybody can do it.
You have a website.
We do. If you'd like to register or find out more information, you can go to www.Mahanys, MHANYS, that's for the Mental Health Association of New York State.org. And you can register if you want to come, and you can get more information. We have a website link to that also.
Okay, great.
There's one picture that we showed where there's some kids talking to a staffer, and we're sitting in the Capitol, and to me that really embodies this event. This is grassroots. These are kids from high school. They had lost a number of students to suicide, and they wanted to come and tell their lawmakers why this issue is important to them.
Important issue.
It is so empowering for people to have a voice, and this is absolutely the day to do it.
And it's great for young kids to see that their actions do have a result.
These are our future voters.
That's right. That's
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
If you want to get involved, go to their website. You can find out more about it. Find out what you can do to help. Maybe someone in your family has been affected by some sort of mental illness of some sort. And I think some of these addictions are also a result of mental illness.
Absolutely.
So check that out and support them, because it's important to you, your family, and those around you. We certainly want to make sure that we keep a healthy population.
You bet.
Yeah. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you so much.
Lisa Riley and also Michelle Hunt. So
you.
nice to have you
Thank
both
you
here
very
today.
much.
Thank you.
Too bad this subject is just,
I know,
you
always
you
with
just
us, I know.
they're always hoping they won't have to come back because it's never an issue
That's
anymore.
right. That's right.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break.